What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cracker Hunters. I, of course, am Carolina Hitman. And I know I said I was going to be reviewing Kyer next, but I actually got a few new statues in through Sideshow, and I actually wanted to review those first since they're more newer and Kyer's a little older. But I will get to that, so please be patient. I appreciate your patience. But as you can see, which one I got in the mail Wednesday, and it's Freddy Krueger. I finally got his premium format in. I pre-ordered it a little while ago and finally came in. But guys, you know I like to give guys and gals, sorry, don't want to be inclusive, but I like to give a little background on each one of my characters that I review. So let's get started. So everyone, I would hope by now you'd all know who this guy is right here, but just in case for those who may not know, this is Freddy Krueger. He made his first appearance in A Nightmare on Elm Street, and from the looks of this, I looked over the base and everything. It looks like this one is based more on A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Now for me, I think that's the best movie in the entire franchise, besides the first one. I think it's the third one, then the first one for me, and then everything else after. But from the looks of the base, it looks like this one's based on 3. That is an amazing movie, had some awesome kills in it. You know, I think some of the best ones for that series at the time. Anybody, if you know me, you know I love practical effects. And after watching the documentary, Never Sleep Again, it made me really appreciate the time the director and all the special effects artists and everything put into making some of these kills happen. And it was amazing. So if you haven't seen Never Sleep Again, it's a 4-hour documentary, and it details from the very first Nightmare on Elm Street all the way to Freddy, I think Freddy versus Jason. So if you haven't seen it, I'd highly recommend it, and it'll give you a little bit of insight on that movie franchise. But for those who may not know particularly, he actually was, well, you know what? I don't know if it was ever explicitly explained. I know in Never Sleep Again, they said he was a child molester, so I'd imagine that's what he is. But the parents actually get a mob up and actually burn him to death. And he actually comes back in people's dreams. And in A Nightmare on Elm Street, when you die in your dreams, you die for real. And that's how he took his revenge on the parents, was by killing the children on Elm Street. But if you've never seen any Nightmare on Elm Streets, please check out the original ones. Don't worry about that abomination. That was a remake. It was horrible. But check out, man, honestly, I'd say the first 4. I think they're really good pieces of cinema, and I'd highly recommend them. But I don't want to spend too much time on background and all that. I want to get into the review, and actually, I want to do something different today. I actually want to do a comparison to the old Freddy Krueger, because I don't know if you can see, which I've changed my background and changed my setup, as y'all can tell. Still a work in progress. But y'all can see, I actually have the other Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger Premium Format they released years ago. And I want to do a little bit of comparison to see which one is better, which one's worse, or which one may have a few things better than the other one. Which I have my opinions already formed because I've already done it, but I'll give y'all guys and gals the opportunity to do the same. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I want to do is actually show you the new premium format, excuse me, first, just to let you get a good glimpse of it and look at some of the details of it. Which for me, the highlight of the statue, there's 2 highlights for me, and that's his face and the base. Kind of rhymed there. But I think they did an amazing job on his face. As one of my friends who was over earlier, because we actually had this basically set up in front of us while we were doing like our little discussion, it has a more glossy feel to it as far as the burns and everything, and I think it highlights those scars and burns a lot better than the other premium format that came out years ago. His face is amazingly well done. The paint application was amazing. The detail is just great. Get all up in here for y'all. Here we go. So y'all can get a real good look, which is kind of creepy looking into this. Like every time I do this or look at this statue, I'm afraid his eyes might move and scare the shit out of me. I'm just gonna be honest, guys and gals. But the face is amazingly well done. As you can see, the gloss, the burns, like they're still like pussy and things like that. Like I really love that part of it. And another thing I really like too is his blades. They're actually metal, which I really appreciate that nice little detail that they put in there. Because that was one of the complaints I had about the original premium format that they released years ago, was that the blades weren't metal. I'm like, if you're gonna do Freddy Krueger, at least make his blades metal. I don't say you gotta make them real sharp, but make them metal. He deserves that much. And I like the look, how dirty his outfit is, worn and weathered. I'll give you guys a good look at the skull that he's holding. I don't know whose skull this is, but I think it's really well done. Even went just the grime in his fingernails. Except, man, Sideshow, man, when they really do a good job on a statue, they really do a good job. Of course, nothing special about the pants, just regular old pants. And now we're gonna get to my favorite part, and that is the base. Not the top part, actually. Top part's pretty basic. It looks like a boiler room. But my favorite part is the base itself down here, where it details the different kills in part 3. That's why, excuse me guys and girls, that's what made me think that this one was based more on part 3, is that it actually has all the kills from part 3. Did a good job with the boiler room controls. Yeah, that base, yeah, I love that, man. That's some real good detailed work. You know, got the guy where he slit his wrist and stuff and basically use him as a puppet. Then I think one of everybody's favorite kills in 3 is when he shoves that girl through the TV screen. It said detailed work. Got a really good close look. Oh, got a little piece of foam there. Can't get it off yet, so. I think they did a really good job on this base. And of course, where he shoved the needles into old girl's arms. So I just really, really like this base. I fell in love with the base as soon as I opened it up and started looking and expecting it. I really fell in love with the base. Like I said, I don't think this one needs too much details. Freddy Krueger, we all know who he is. I think for me, the most important part, the most important aspect is Freddy's face. And like I said, they did a really good job with the burns and making him look pussy. And getting that glossy look to like it's getting ready to be infectious. So I really like that. And they did a really good job on his face. So next, I'm actually going to do a side-by-side comparison, which I've never done that before, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. But I do want to do a side-by-side comparison to the previously released one and the one that I have right in front of me now. So let's do that now. All right. So I got the two Nightmare Elm Street premium format side by side. Try to do as good as I can reviewing or doing a comparison. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I'm gonna try my best, guys and gals. But first thing I love about the one I have, the newer one, is the fact that it looks a lot dirtier. Like if you notice on the left that Freddy's wardrobe is worn and withered and weathered and a lot more dirty. And the one on the right just looks really too clean to be someone who's been in a boiler room. And so it should be dirty and dusty. And I think they portrayed that look a lot better than in the newer one. Second thing is, I think the face on the newer one is better as well. See if I can get him a little bit closer. Here we go. I think the one on the left looks more like Freddy Krueger. The burns, the glossy look far as looking like it's pussy, And just the overall look, I think it resembles Robert Englund a lot better than the one on the right. I think the hat looks a lot better. I know it's little minor things like that, but I just think that one looks better. I don't know why they had him holding a doll in the exclusive version, which I wasn't able to get the exclusive version for the newer one because he was holding souls, which that would have been awesome to get. But I never understood the meaning of that one. But he's holding a skull in this one, which kind of makes more sense to me, being Freddy Krueger. Like I said, just you can tell by the ward, like his pants, they just look a little too clean on the older one. Now on to my biggest complaint for the older one, his glove. Like those, for me, I think they were a little too long. Like I get this one is technically it's a little bit bigger, but not big enough to where the blade should be that long. And of course they're not metal, they're painted on, or plastic, or whatever you want to say what they were. They're not metal, that's the main thing. And I think the newer one's glove actually has better proportions than the older one. And of course it's metal. Like I think for me, the older one is it would be kind of hard to move his hands without cutting himself, which he's already dead, but still. I think that's just a little bit too exaggerated on the older base. I mean, on the older statue. Now, of course, for me, the newer base blows the older one out the park. Like the older one is just a basic boiler room. It does, which I'll show y'all. It does have a light up feature, which, okay, my batteries are dead. But it does have a light up feature. But it's really basic. I mean, like I said, it's nothing wrong with it. It does look like a boiler room, but it's still basic, real basic. Like I said, the newer one has a lot more detail. It depicts some of his most famous kills from the third movie, and I think overall, in my opinion. But yeah, I think the base of the newer one is a lot better. I already showed y'all that. Now, here's the main thing. I know this is something simple, guys. I think the newer one, which is the one on the left, portrays a little bit more swagger with his pose. I know it's just a little simple knee pop, or what you want to call it, knee bend, but I think the newer one gives off the portrayal of a little more swagger, and I think Freddy needs that swagger. And this one's, like I said, the one on the right, just a little basic, standing there. But this one, I think, portrays a swagger that Freddy Krueger needs to have as a villain and throughout his movies. So for me, in my opinion, I think the newer one is a better overall statue than the older version. So guys and girls, let me know what you think in the comment section. Which one do you prefer better? Like I said, I prefer the newer one. I think the newer one's a lot better done, especially for the face. I think the newer one's better for that one. And metal blades and base, it's just overall a better quality statue. So let me get ready to do this closing. So overall, I think this is a much better statue than the version that they brought out years ago. The face, the base, the weathering in the clothes, the actual metal in the glove itself. I think this is overall a lot better quality than the very first one we got. They did a really good job on the base. That's actually my favorite part of this statue is the base. I love the fact that it depicts some of his most famous kills from the third movie. I really appreciated that. They did a really good job on that. Sideshow, you've been doing a really good job on the horror figures that you've been putting out. I want to make one request. Well, two. I'm gonna need you to get the license for Michael Myers and Pennywise and put out a premium format for both of those. I need to finish my horror collection. I got a Jason premium format on the way through eBay. Michael Myers and Pennywise are the two I'm really missing. So I'm gonna need you to do what you gotta do to acquire the licensing for those two characters. You need to do that, because I know there are many people who are waiting for you to bring out a Michael Myers premium format. So please bring it out. You guys have been doing a really good job on some of my favorite horror characters, and I want to continue. I want to continue purchasing more horror characters. I don't want to see 10 Freddys or 10 Pinheads. I want to see Michael Myers. I would like to see another Pumpkinhead. I missed out on the first one. I know that one's rare. I want to see another Pumpkinhead. So guys, please just give us a Michael Myers, if nothing else. But for me, I think like for the price, this one's $469.99. It's still available through Sideshow's website. I'll put a link in the description. So if this has encouraged you to buy it, I hope it has. I really would recommend it. It's a really good statue, especially if you're a fan of Freddy Krueger or just horror in general. So please pick this up, man. I think you'll really enjoy it. But that's it for today. I'll actually probably reviewing either the Alien Raptus Invictus, whatever, however you pronounce that weird name that they gave that statue. I'll probably be reviewing that because I just got that in. But I will get to Kair because I know I have a lot of Quarter the Dead fans and my subscribers, so I will get to it. I actually have Zal coming, so I'll be reviewing that. So just look out for all of that. I got the Hell Priestess coming, so I got a lot of new statues coming, everybody. So I know I've been off and on with my schedule on posting reviews of statues. My job is requiring a lot of overtime, so I got to make that money. That's the only way I'm gonna buy more statues to review for you all. But thanks for joining me. I'm Carolina Hitman. Thanks for watching the review. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Peace.